recognition within the SPE represents more than an award. It reflects sustained service, leadership, and measurable impact on our society, our communities, and the energy industry at large. Yet, as many of us have observed, outstanding contributions do not always translate into successful nominations unless their impact is clearly and compellingly articulated. This session is therefore timely and very important. It moves us beyond simply what has been done to how that contribution is communicated, evaluated, and ultimately recognized at the highest levels of SPE. Whether you are a section or YP leader, a potential nominator, or an aspiring nominee, today's program offers an opportunity to gain clarity on nomination criteria, understand the best practices, and be inspired to champion excellence within our regions. As your moderator, I'll be guiding the discussions and ensure we maximize value from the expectations perspectives we have with us today from our guest speaker and even our keynote speaker, Dr. Riverson Opong. It is especially fitting that we begin with insights from SPE's African leadership, and I am therefore pleased to introduce our keynote speaker. But before we introduce our keynote speaker and proceed with today's program, allow me to first invite my colleague to take us through a brief safety moment. Fausta, if you're on the call, I would like you to take us through a brief safety moment before we proceed with the program. Alabi, is Fausta on the call with us?
It seems Foster is not on call, so I would think I'll just do that in our stead because of time. So could you please move to the next slide?
All right.
All right, so thank you so much, Andrew, for the opportunity to give the safety moment. And I believe, as we all know, in our industry, safety is priority, and we try to ensure that we don't just take safety as we try to ensure everyone takes safety as a responsibility, as a personal responsibility, and not necessarily something you are coerced to do. So we have to always be safety conscious. And considering the fact that we're having a virtual meet today, it's good with taking to some ground rules like muting our mics when not speaking. Yeah, I think I defaulted on that earlier. Thank you, Andrew, for helping sorting that out. Then raising up your hands if you want to speak, so that at least whoever is taking the session at the time can take note of that. Also, if you have questions or you have comments, you can do well to use the chat button and also use the reactions as well. Like you must have noticed while Andrew was giving his very warm welcome, I was cheering up with my class with the reaction. So then ensure you can still hear the fire alarm even with your headset. So wherever we are, because I believe some of us will be locked in to ensure we get pay so much enough attention and get the best out of this program. So even if you are well covered up with your headset or headphones, ensure you can still hear the alarm. So make sure you set the volumes to at least a volume that will still help you to be situationally aware. Then be alert and aware of your environment, just like I mentioned, be mindful of wherever you are. Then maintain a good sitting posture. Yes, very, very important. It's easy to to get so overwhelmed or so engrossed in what you're doing that you forget to also take care of your economics. Yes, it's very, very important. So because you may not feel it at the time, it will be later. So ensure you're seated well, you're maintaining a very good sitting position well, even while you're on the call, whether you're at home or in a bus or wherever you are. Then ensure you always stay safe. Like I mentioned, safety is everyone's responsibility. Safety is your responsibility. Safety is my responsibility. So wherever we are, let's ensure we stay safe. Thank you so much, everyone. And I believe we're going to have the best moments in this session. Over to you, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alabi, for that powerful safety brief. And with the safety covered, we can now turn our focus fully to the program. Sarah was supposed to introduce our keynote speaker, but she was unable to join on the call. So I'll take on that. And it's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, none other than Dr. Riverson Opong, our SP Africa Regional Director. Our keynote speaker today brings a rare combination of technical depth, commercial insight, and regional leadership to this conversation on recognition and the impact within SPA. Dr. Riverson Opong is an experienced oil and gas business analyst with strong expertise in field development planning, portfolio management, and value creation across the oil and gas and the broader energy industry. His work is deeply rooted in the day-to-day interpretation of how technical decisions translate into commercial value, a perspective that is highly relevant to today's theme. Dr. Riverson Opong holds both a PhD and a postdoctorate degree in international oil and gas management with a focus on finance and economics from the Gubkin University of Oil and Gas. He brings over 15 years of global experience across the energy value chain, spanning both upstream and downstream perspectives. He currently serves as the CEO and industrial coordinator of the Association of Oil and Marketing Companies and the LPG Marketing Companies in Ghana. And he remains actively engaged within SPE as the sectional director for the SPE Ghana section. Most notably, for today's session, Dr. Opong currently serves as the SP Africa Regional Director, providing strategic leadership across our continent. And in this, therefore, it's a very great privilege to have him set the stage for this discussion on excellence, leadership, and recognition within SPE. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Dr. Riverson Opong. Doctor, over to you to take us through the keynotes for the theme. Thank you.
All right. Hello, Andrew. Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor, we can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic. Awesome. All right. So it's a holiday in Ghana. We are celebrating our Constitutional Day today. So we're speaking from home. So all the Ghanaians on the page, I wish you happy Constitution Day celebration. And also our friends and brothers, sisters from other countries, Angola, I know Uganda, Kenya, Wari also here. So I also bring you greetings on behalf of the SPE board. And also, can you hear me?
Yes, doctor, we can hear you now.
All right. So I bring you special greetings from the SPE Africa Regional Advisory Board and the entire board of SPE as well. There's no other day to have this important discussion on the as far as the SPE award is concerned. And like I always say at the board meetings, that the award ceremony in Africa is totally different from many other regions, and it's clear to the extent that when even the SPI board was looking at sunsetting the regional awards, we said in Africa, we still gonna keep it up. Because if you look at the kind of level of nominations we have and the kind of level of competitions we have, it is quite enormous. I remember when myself, I was first nominated for a regional award for the Young Professional Award by former SP president. And I never thought of even getting myself nominated for award. And that's the beauty of it. When someone sees the good work you're doing in terms of volunteering and gets you nominated for an award. Award and recognitions are very crucial for professionals, not only young professionals as you are, believe it or not. Even those with 20, 30 years experience really need it to boost confidence, serve as motivation, and also engagement. Which most importantly, after years of working, serves as validating hard work and encouraging future efforts in the workplace, whether you find yourself in academia, art, athletics, or even on the field of petroleum. And I believe that meaningful acknowledgement builds self-esteem, foster a positive work culture, strengthens relationship, open doors for opportunities, especially for those who are looking for scholarships. I remember a mentee I mentored was offered a scholarship because he had received an SP award, and also promoting a healthy drive for success and a growth mindset. There's so much beauty in being recognized by an institution or an agency or even your place of work. Most companies will give the best worker of the year, and it is an award I've taken before. And I remember I was the youngest engineer among other engineers, and receiving that made me do twice what I had done the previous year. So the benefits of getting an award or being recognized is huge. Like I said, it boosts confidence and self-esteem and increasing motivation and engagement, trying to even engage more, and also foster positive working culture. One of the biggest and for me the most sensitive aspect of being recognized is the fact that it promotes growth mindset. It shows us that challenges can be overcome and persistence leads to success, encouraging us to keep growing and keep doing more. And as far as SPE becomes or it is a volunteering society, being recognized gives you the effort to even volunteer more, right? So enhancing persistence and opening opportunities. Time will not permit me to talk about how many opportunities I've got through volunteering in SPE and being recognized to the extent that today I am the Africa Regional Director, something I had never even thought of. So you are lucky because you're going to be having this lecture by somebody I respect, Laurie, who has been been at the helms of affairs as far as SP International Awards are concerned. The nomination portal is open, and I believe that after this lecture, all of you are going to start nominating your friends, your colleagues who are SP members to be nominated, to be recognized at the Africa Technology Conference in Abidjan in June. So we are waiting for the nominations. Some are already started coming, and we believe that we are going to get more nominations this year, more quality ones, and also the best of the best will be recognized at the end of this lecture. So I wish you all the best. I won't take the time of Laurie. I know that she has a lot to share with you all. Pay attention and take all the notes that you need to have, and let's have the best nominations ever in history as far as Africa region is concerned. Thank you so much, Laurie Davis, for taking time to speak to us in Africa. It might be morning already in the US where you are, but
is.
you chose to come here with us. Exactly. And I'm looking forward to see you again, probably in the next board meetings or at ATCE.
Yes.
Thank you all. Have a good one.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Dr. Riverson, for setting the stage so clearly and providing a strong regional perspective on leadership, impact, and recognition within SPE. Building on that foundation, we will now hear from our SPE International on how excellence is formally recognized. And with us today, we have Laurie Davis. With us today, we have Laurie Davis, the SPE International Awards and Recognition Manager. Allow me to introduce her before she comes in. Laurie Davis has been with the Society of Petroleum Engineers for 18 years, bringing a uniquely well-rounded perspective shaped by experience across several key areas of the organization. She began her SPE journey in the Information Technology Department and later transitioned into exhibit management. And in the year 2022, she assumed her current role as the Awards and Recognition Manager following the retirement of her predecessor. Laurie's career path within SPE gives her a deep institutional understanding of the society, not only how it operates, but how the contributions of its members are evaluated, celebrated, and honored at the international level. Her work is driven by a strong appreciation for the people and achievements that advance SPE's mission and strengthen our global community. Today, she will provide invaluable insight into what makes a nomination truly stand out, offering clarity on criteria, expectations, and the best practices from the perspective of the SPE International team. Please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Miss Laurie Davis, SPE's Awards and Recognition Manager.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I do need to share my screen so that I can go over a presentation with you. It does say host disabled participant screen sharing. So if there's a way that you could allow that so I can share this presentation.
Yeah, sure. Let me do the host right away.
And I will say that I am typically using Teams, so Zoom is kind of not familiar to me, but I will do my best to present well.
All right, we are all here. Let's see. Alabi, I think it's you with the rights. Kindly grant Miss Laurie the co-host rights such that she could share her screen. Alabi?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. I would make her host co-host now. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I can do it now, so.
Yes.
Perfect. If you could just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining today. I'm so glad that you are taking time to really shine a spotlight on the International Awards program. We did do a membership survey a couple years ago, really trying to determine how many people were familiar with each of our programs or involved in our programs. And it was really surprising how many people did not know about our international awards program. So I thank you for, again, shining the spotlight on this program to bring awareness to it, because it really is a very important program and part of SPE. International awards are the highest honor that you can receive at SPE. So I'd love for you to be a part of this program. So thank you for joining us today. Again, my name is Lori Davis, Awards and Recognition Manager. They've already given a nice intro, so I'll go ahead and just go past that screen. And now I'll start talking about the International Awards Program. So we do recognize individuals who make significant technical and professional contributions to SPE, the petroleum engineering profession, and to the worldwide oil and gas industry. At the international level of competition, international nominations remain active for 3 years, so they will remain in the candidate pool for 3 years. You do not have to go in and nominate that person again in the next year or the next year. Those nominations automatically will roll over to the next year. When that next year comes, so say you nominate somebody this year, when the next year comes, I'll send an email to you letting you know that the nominations are open and that you can go in and make any changes that you'd like to make to that nomination. So again, do not resubmit the nomination annually. Just go in and update the existing nomination. Submitting a duplicate nomination really can cause trouble with the system. So we don't want to risk it being making the candidate ineligible. So just pay attention to that. Again, this is just touching on the annual update requirement. So we will ask that you go in and update your nomination, that you update letters of support. If you have a new CV resume, you can go in and upload that each year. So that way your nomination remains current over that 3-year period. In years 2 and 3, the nominators will receive an email, like I said, saying it's time to go in and update your nomination. There is a new box that's been added to the nomination portal that the nominator will have to check, just letting us know that they did go in and update that nomination. This way we can make sure that the nominations that our judges are being tasked with reviewing are current, that they're competitive, and that they're ready for that next year of review. Letters of support. So we'll go into that right now. We do each nomination. So there's a part where the nominator goes in and answers questions about the candidate, just provides information, and that's considered the actual nomination. And then we have a section that's for letters of support. So the nominator would then have an opportunity to list up to 6 supporters that are tasked with providing a letter of support that will support and strengthen the nomination. So we do require that a minimum of 1 letter is attached to the nomination. I personally recommend at the international level of competition that you try to get as many as you can, up to that maximum of 6. It is a really competitive candidate pool. So the more letters of support you can get, the better. It is, you can get up to 6 of them. And I would just want to point out that it's really important not to just get letters of support, but also to ensure that those letters of support are strongly written, that they're written on letterhead. They appear to be formal, that they really cover the accomplishments of the individual that's being considered. This really helps the judges when they go in to review these packets. It really helps the judges to be able to get a big picture of the candidate that they're looking into. These letters must be uploaded directly by the supporters, not the nominator. We recommend that you use a variety of sources. So if your candidate is working for a specific organization, we really think it's the best idea to not really just request letters from all the people at that specific particular organization, but from different organizations, different companies that the candidates worked for. different projects that they've worked for. That way we're covering a wide variety of their accomplishments and not just repeat letters about the same accomplishments. Again, that just helps the judges with a bigger picture of the accomplishments of the individual. Nominators should not submit letters of support for their own nominations. So the nominators should really put all of their backing information into the nomination. They don't need to put that in a letter. The letters of support are for others that are helping to support your nomination. SPE board members and judges for the specific award may not submit letters either. So please do not request letters of support from current SPE board members or from any judges that are on the panel. And typically the judges are told that because it's really not public information who is on our judging committee. So you might request a letter of support from somebody and they might come back to you and say, that they can't provide that letter of support because they are on the judging committee. So that's just something to keep in mind. Again, I would encourage original personalized letters, no templates, no copy and paste. When the judges see letters that have just been copy and pasted and every letter appears to be the same, but with a different person's signature on it, they really notice that and are not interested in those nominations. So make sure that no templates are used when providing these letters of support. And I do recommend that these letters are submitted on letterhead. It just looks more official and more professional. So that is another little tip when providing letters of support. And then we also require for each nomination that the candidate uploads their CV, resume, or LinkedIn profile. The nominations will not be moved forward to the international judging candidate pool if the letters of a minimum of one letter of support and the CV resume is not attached. So be sure and keep an eye on that. The nominator is responsible for making sure that all those items are attached to the nomination by the deadline of February 15th. International awards are presented annually at ATCE during the SPE Annual Awards Banquet, and that takes place on Tuesday of ATC every year. So if you have not been to that event and you do attend ATCE, I highly recommend that you attend the event just so you can see what it looks like. You can see it's a good fun time to dress up, to get fancy, and to watch your colleagues walk across the stage to be honored with an award. I also do recommend that if you review the awards that we have available and you see some that are that might pertain to you, that you might qualify for, that you encourage your colleagues to nominate you as well, because I think it would be great to watch you walk the stage and be able to present you with an award. So don't be shy and ashamed to go over to a colleague and encourage them to nominate you as well. So I do know that some of our past award recipients are actually on this call, so I love to see that. I do want to point out that international awards are for individuals only. We do not recognize groups for any of our international awards. It's just for individuals only. Also, please make note that self-nominations are not accepted at this level of competition. These nominations must be submitted by colleagues. SPE membership is not mandatory for nominators, so you do not have to be an SPE member to nominate a candidate. However, we do encourage you to join SPE and to see all the different perks we have of being a member. And you can click here. I'll send this presentation over to the moderator of this meeting to make sure that you all have clickable links for all the items in this presentation. Students are eligible to nominate professionals and to provide letters of support. However, they are not eligible to receive awards. The judges are prohibited from nominating or endorsing any candidate for the award in which they are evaluating. So again, the SPE Board of Directors and judges should refrain from providing letters of support or endorsing any specific candidate. Something I really, really want to really drive home with you is to please look into the requirements of the award, of the different awards offered. We want to make sure that you're looking at all of the criteria for all of the awards offered to ensure that the candidate is being nominated for the award for which they are the best fit. This gives them better chances of winning the award. So I think a lot of people go straight to our technical awards because those are the most clear cut. People understand exactly what they're intended for. But we have a different category also, in addition to that, or several categories that we have the major awards. And I think a lot of people go just kind of skim over the major awards because they don't understand what they're for. But I urge you to take some time and to read into the criteria for those major awards, because you might have some candidates that are eligible for them. And again, you might be eligible for them and can encourage a colleague to nominate you. So please look into our major awards categories, our service awards, our faculty awards, and our Young Professional Services Awards as well, because we do have a wide range of awards that are available for nomination. And you can be nominated for more than one award. If there are several different awards that you qualify for, you can be nominated for all of them. So please keep that in mind. So again, when you are going to nominate a candidate, we ask that you ask yourself, what is the intent and the purpose of the award? What are the award qualifications? And which award best fits the contributions and the accomplishments of the candidate? This is really, really important because if your candidate doesn't truly meet the criteria for that award, the judges will just score it accordingly. They're not going to say, hey, I know this person, they're a great person, I want to give them the award. They're going to wonder why this person was nominated for something where they really didn't meet the criteria. So I can't stress enough that it's really important to look into the criteria of the award. So I just want to point out the different categories that we have for SPE awards. So again, we have the major awards section right here. We have honorary member, distinguished member. Honorary member is the highest honor that you can receive from SPE. Once you achieve honorary member, you are no longer eligible to win any other SPE awards because you've already won the highest honor. But you'll see here that we have multiple awards that you could be nominated for. We have technical awards, service awards, the faculty award, the public service award, and again, the Young Professional Service Award. So these are all linked to the criteria for the award, but you can also visit our awards page on SPE.org and learn more about how to nominate and to read about some of these awards as well. So I really encourage you to go review our awards page found on SPE.org under Get Involved and to look into these awards and to nominate some candidates. Again, this is really important. There are many years that pass that we are unable to award some of these major awards. And the reason is not because we don't have qualified candidates, but because we don't have enough nominations to present the award. So that's why I'm really driving this home, is because I want to make sure you understand we need nominations for these categories. So I encourage you to nominate candidates for these categories and to spread the word about this major awards category. We do have 4 different service awards, so that can be a little confusing. We have the DeGolyer Distinguished Service Award, which recognizes distinguished service to SPE and the energy, the profession of engineering and geology, and to the petroleum industry. The Giovanni Pacoloni is basically the same thing, but it is for young professionals. The candidate must be under the age of 36 to be considered for this award. And then we have the Distinguished Service Award. This award is for service to SPE. And then you have the Public Service Award, which is geared toward public service that recognizes distinguished service to country, state, community, or the public with respect to local customs and considering the different cultural perceptions of public service. So I would recommend that you go in and read a little bit more about these different service awards and consider nominating for those as well. We've touched on this a little bit ago about avoiding duplicate nominations. Again, please don't resubmit. If you have a nomination in the candidate pool, please don't resubmit them each year because that could disqualify your candidate. Avoiding duplicate nominations. They do remain in the candidate pool for 3 years. Again, submitting nominations, duplicate nominations can render your candidate ineligible. If for any reason you submit a nomination and it's declined, please don't try to submit another nomination. Just reach out to me, and you can always email me at awards@spe.org. And just reach out to me and let me know that something has been declined. And if you're not sure why it was declined, I can look into that for you. So we'll go through that together. When you are nominating a candidate for an international award, I just ask that you're prepared to invest a little time. They do take time. Of course, you can just throw a nomination together real quick. But you know, the judges can tell how much time you put into the nomination, and that really does matter. They like to see that a nominator is really invested in the nomination and that they did take time to really try to honor this candidate. So be sure that you're ready to commit time that it takes to prepare a quality nomination. As the nominator, again, you will solicit letters of support. We encourage you to request well-written, strong letters of support and encourage your supporters to cover accomplishments that differ from one another. Reach out to those contributing letters to make them aware of the coming request. So the email requesting the letter of support will come from SPE. So I recommend that you reach out to these supporters ahead of time just to let them know what you're doing, that you're nominating this candidate, and that you're looking to them to support your nomination. That way, when they receive an email from us, they don't just think it's spam and delete it, and that they know what to expect. Make sure the highlights and the greatest accomplishments of your candidate are included in these support letters. Again, there is a strong chance that the judges may not know your candidate, so it's up to you to really paint a picture for them and help them understand why your candidate deserves the award. We've already talked about the CV, resume, and LinkedIn profiles. Each nomination will send an email to the candidate and will ask them, it will provide a link and ask them to upload their CV, resume, or to provide a LinkedIn profile, or you can do both. I recommend doing both. It always helps to strengthen a nomination, the more that the judges have to review for the nomination. And as the nominator, it's really important that you ensure that you meet all of the posted deadlines. You need to make sure that your nomination is submitted by February 15th, because after February 15th, the portal will close and you will not be able to make changes to your nomination. It's also up to you to make sure that your supporters have uploaded their letters of support and that your candidate has uploaded their CV, resume, or their LinkedIn profile. To nominate a candidate, you will need the following information when you log in to get started. So you'll need the candidate's first and last name. You will need their email address, and it's really important that you use the email address that is listed in their SPE.org account. So if possible, I would ask that reach out to the candidate. If you are letting them know that you are nominating them, just make sure that you ask them which email address they are using for their primary email address on their SPE.org account. When you log in, it will give you an opportunity to enter your candidate's name and then search for the correct candidate in our system. It's tied to their member record. So I recommend, instead of searching for the candidate by the name, I recommend that you use their email address. That is because we could have multiple people with the same name. Using the email address when you go in and nominate is just a better way of ensuring that you have the right candidate and that you don't accidentally grab the wrong candidate. And then I recommend that you have documentation to assist you in answering nomination questions. Now, when you if you are a paid SPE member, when you log in to nominate a candidate, paid members will be able to have access to the candidate's SPE member record. So that will help you answer questions within the nomination packet. So just keep that in mind and look for that link. If you are a paid SPE member, look for that link when you log in to nominate, and that report will help you be able to better populate the answers to the questions. And then, of course, be sure when you log in to make sure you have a list of the supporters that you plan on using and requesting letters of support from. You'll need their first name, their last name, and their email address. So at the very end of the nomination, you'll have 6 fields that you can fill out with the name and the email addresses of your supporters. So you will enter the person's first and last name, their email address, and then there will be a button that says request letter of support. You just click on that and an email is sent to your supporter to request the letter. Again, I do recommend that you reach out to your supporters ahead of time just to give them the heads up that that email is coming. This is really important, saving and finalizing your nomination. So in your first year of submitting a nomination, you'll see 2 buttons at the very bottom of the last page of the nomination. One will say save and one will say save and finalize. If you save a nomination, that will allow you the opportunity to go back in and edit the nomination if you need to, or if you still need to make additions to the nominations or adjustments to it, you'll just click save. But once you complete your nomination, just the actual nomination part, the part you're responsible for, you will go ahead and click save and finalize. Once you click save and finalize, that will trigger our system to send an email to the candidate and request their CV resume. They will not receive that email until you do click on save and finalize. Nominations not saved and finalized by February 15th will not move forward into judging. So if you have gone in and clicked save so that you can adjust, make changes to the nomination, just make sure you go back in and hit save and finalize before that February 15th deadline so that your nomination will be moved forward into judging rounds. Again, do not wait for supporting documents to save and finalize. When you go in and save and finalize, that's basically just saying you have completed your portion of it. Save and finalize does not mean that your letters of support have been received and that the CV resume has been received. It simply means that you've done your part. Again, this step confirms your portion is complete and is not tied to the upload of CVs or letters of support. If you have click on save and finalized and you realize, oops, I need to go in and make an adjustment, just reach out to me. Again, that's at awards@sp.org, and I can allow you access back into the system up till February 15th. So no problem. Don't worry if you do save and finalize and realize you need to make an adjustment. Just let me know and I'll help you out. And then after February 15th, of course, those nominations can no longer be accessed and it's closed down. Your supporters, even though you're closed out from February 15th as the nominator, your supporters and your candidate will have an additional 10 days through February 25th. We call it the attachment deadline. So that's a 10-day window that we allow to where the candidate and your supporters have extra time to upload the requested documents. And then the next steps, after you save and finalize, the system will email the candidate to upload their CV or LinkedIn profile by February 25th. They will receive an email with a link that will allow them to upload their own letter. Letters of support are also due by February 25th. And again, I do want to stress that those letters of support are to be uploaded by the supporter and not by the nominator. If for any reason the supporters have a hard time uploading a letter, just ask them to email me and I will help them with that upload. All of the deadlines are firm and cannot be extended. So please be sure and keep an eye on those deadlines just to make sure that your nomination is ready to go by the finalized deadline of February 25th. I have attached some nomination resources here for you. This nomination demonstration video, this just allows you to kind of look into the system before you go in to nominate somebody. It allows you the opportunity to go in and look and just see what it looks like. to nominate. And then we have a section here with member award stories, people who have won awards and who have nominated candidates for awards. You can go in and watch those if you'd like. And then the next step would be nominating a candidate, and I've created or added a link here for you to do that. And then down here, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Susan Howes. She's very involved in the awards program. She's been a great help to me as I've learned more about the program. So she actually has a presentation that she's allowed us to have a link to here, and you can always log in and listen to that presentation if you would like to. She nominates a lot of candidates each year. So she is really somebody that's great to take notes from, tips from, because she has nominated a lot of winning candidates. So that is a video that is worth watching. And then she also wrote a couple articles here for JPT that speak more about the awards program. So she really is a great resource to. It's worth looking into these links that are provided. So I definitely recommend watching those. And I do want to point out before we go into questions, something that I wanted to point out to you is that we do have a change in the program this year that's effective in 2026. In previous years, we've had it to where regional award winners were allowed the opportunity to be moved forward into the international candidate pool with regional director approval. So if somebody won at the regional level, the regional directors would review the nomination and the candidate and would approve some to be moved forward. If they were strong enough for the international level of competition, they would approve them to move into the international level of competition for 3 years. Effective 2026, that that connection has now been severed, and regional awards will operate independently of international awards. So we will no longer be moving those nominations up to the international candidate pool. The reason that they were originally combined is because we were only receiving nominations for candidates in the United States. And we don't want that. This is an international program. This is global. We want your nominations. We want to be able to award all these people on the other side of the world to be able to be recognized. So it's really important to me to make sure that while we are severing that tie with regional awards, that we really work to bring awareness to this program on your side of the world to make sure that we do still continue getting nominations from the other side of the globe. So if any help that you can give in bringing awareness to this program would be greatly appreciated. I do post on LinkedIn, so if we are not connected on LinkedIn, just go ahead and you're welcome to send an invite to me, and you'll see that I posted recently, I believe yesterday, about the International Awards Program, making sure everybody realizes that we are still accepting nominations. Once we've connected on LinkedIn, I encourage you to go share that post so that you can bring awareness to your audience as well. It would be greatly appreciated if you do that. And then also something else I wanted to bring up is that our annual call for volunteers is now open. And I actually shared a post about that this morning that Susan Howes had posted. So we are looking for volunteers to judge on our international awards committees right now. So if you are interested in volunteering to judge for one of our awards committees, one or more of our awards committees, you're not limited on how many you can apply for. So if you are interested in volunteering, I recommend that you go to spe.org, click on how to get involved, and then go to the volunteerism button. And once you're on that page, you can go to the See Opportunities button, and then you'll see that there are 4 different links for volunteerism for the awards program. You'll see the major awards categories, you'll see technical awards, and then you'll see the service awards, and then you'll see the Ferguson Award. The Ferguson Award, just so you're aware of how that works, is Ferguson is not nomination driven. It is an award that is distributed each year for papers that were written and peer reviewed and published for SPE. So the Ferguson is a little bit different than the rest of our awards, but we do need judges for that committee as well. So I urge you to take a look at the call for volunteers opportunities and look at those award committee opportunities and apply if you're interested. I would like, even if you've never been involved in it, I'm really interested in bringing on new, fresh people who have not judged in the past to get involved in the awards program. I would love to have you on my committees. So I urge you to take a look at those opportunities and to see if which ones you're qualified for and interested in and apply for them. And then around June of this next year, or I'm sorry, this year, we're in 2026, I will start pulling those applications and start building my committees that will start in 2027. And they do serve 3-year terms. So if you're interested, I urge you to go take a look at that. Again, I posted on LinkedIn about that call for volunteers. So I encourage you to share that post as well. So yeah, I would love to have you all as active participants of this program. It's a really important program. It's a fun program to be involved in too. I mean, what's better than recognizing our colleagues? You know, it's an exciting program, and I think I really have a good time working with the judges to find the best, most qualified candidates for these awards. So I would love to see you get involved. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. Does anyone have questions about what I've just covered?
Thank you very, very much, Lori, for that
Sure.
very insightful and practical presentation. Yes, now we move into our Q&A session, where all participants are encouraged to seek any clarification or share any reflections from the presentation. I would request those who are able to speak to raise their arms, and then I'll be in position to call upon one by one to ask their questions. But if in case you're unable to speak due to your background, you can feel free to type your question in the chat room, and I'll read it out to our speaker. So as we wait for any more questions, I'll begin with those that are already in the chat room. Lori, we have some three questions in the chat room, and I'll begin with the very first one. I'll read it out loud. This is Doreen Kamuge, and she had 2 questions. The first question is, please, what is the process to nominate the petroleum facility? I think she meant faculty. I would want to guess so. And then the second
Yes.
question is, who is a nominator and supporter? So she wanted
Yeah.
get some sort of clarity
Okay.
on nominator and supporter. So I think we can
Okay.
first those before we go to the next one. Thank you.
Of course. Yes. So that's a good question. So the process to nominate is, you'll see if you go to the awards page on SPE.org, you will see the international page. First, you'll navigate to the international page, and you'll see an actual presentation that is similar to this one. It walks you through the process and what that looks like. So if you decide, so say you decide to nominate Riverson Opong for an award, you would be considered the nominator because you're the one initiating the nomination. You're deciding that you want to recognize this candidate, Riverson, for an award. So you would be considered the nominator, and then Riverson would be considered the candidate. The supporter would be anyone that you elect to provide letters of support. So you might tell Riverson, I would like to nominate you for an award. I want, do you have any colleagues that you would like for me to reach out to request a letters of support? And Riverson could then tell you, I worked with so-and-so and here's their information. You could then list that person as a supporter. So again, I do recommend that you try to get as many supporters as possible, up to the maximum of 6 supporters. That helps to strengthen the nomination. So I do recommend that you try to work with the candidate to determine who the best supporters for your nomination would be, and to get their information to request those letters of support from to support your nomination. So again, you would be the nominator, Riverson would be the candidate, and then you would work together to find out who his colleagues are, and past colleagues, current colleagues, people who have worked with him and can speak to his accomplishments. So hopefully that answers your question, but I do recommend that you go take a look at the awards page on SPE.org, and that you really look into that. Once you log into the nomination portal, it's basically just a question and answer type thing. So you'll log in to nominate, and the system will basically walk you through. You'll see the questions, you'll fill in the blanks. The presentation probably makes it seem way more difficult than it is. It really is not as difficult as it seems. I just like to cover a lot of details so that you're aware of what to expect. But once you log into the nomination portal, there is a link on the awards page to log into that portal. I recommend that you go in and that you review the different awards offered first to make sure that you are nominating for the best award possible, to allow them the best opportunity to win. So, and then after you review in each category, after you review the criteria for the award, there's a button that says nominate now. You would then click on that button to get started. So, but we do encourage that you review the awards page first, then you review the criteria for each award, and then you go nominate. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, that has been very well elaborative. Thank you very, very much, Loris. Our next question is from Adenuga, and they were asking, must supporters be SPE members?
So that is a good question. Typically, no. For majority of the awards, no, they do not have to be members. So, but again, when you go in to review the criteria, just make sure that you're reviewing the criteria in full first, just to make sure. We do have a few that do require SPE membership, but for the most, no, you do not have to be a SPE member to nominate a candidate. That's a good question. But again, I do recommend that you review the criteria found on the awards page just to make sure before you get started.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Loris. That's well noted as well. The next question is from Moses, and Moses was asking, do the Way Ahead Awards also follow this procedure? I don't know if this is one of the awards. Maybe you could clarify on that as well. For Moses.
It actually is not. It's not associated with this program at all. So I'm not really sure. And actually, the Way Ahead, the first time I heard about them was yesterday. So that's all new to me as well. But no, they probably have different procedures. I would assume. I mean, most award programs are very similar. Ours is unique in the sense that the nominations remain effective for 3 years. Most awards programs do not have that type of setup. Typically, they operate more like our regional awards did, where you nominate 1 year. If they don't win, you have to renominate them the next year. That's how most awards programs work. So I would think that the Way Ahead probably is similar to that. Ours is a little unique in that and having that 3-year process. So, but I would reach out to the administrators at that particular awards program, and they can probably provide some clarification for you. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I think that is well noted and clarified for Moses. Well, those are the 3 questions that we had in the chat room. Just to confirm with the audience, could there be any more questions, any points of clarity that perhaps you may need Ms. Loris to highlight more? Feel free to raise your arm. You can be unmuted and you submit. Okay, well, we did not see any more questions or any members from the audience.
Yeah.
That means presentation was very, very spot on. Thank you
Great.
very much.
Of
again,
course, and
Nora.
I do want to stress that any of you are welcome to email me if you have questions after this session. You can email me at any time at awards@spe.org, and I'm happy to help you out and to guide you through this process. So definitely reach out to me if you do think of any questions after this.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you very much, Ms. Loris. It has been a
And-
very insightful and a very practical presentation. Thank you very much.
Great. And I do see another question. Somebody just asked if the student chapter awards also follow these procedures. Student chapter will be a little more similar to how I operate. We use the same nomination portal, the same program. It's called Open Water. We do use the same software for our nominations. So it will, nominating a candidate, the system will look very similar. We do have a different department that manages student chapter awards. So Lacey Zuhowski would be your contact for that. So I would definitely look into them because they do operate differently in the sense that they recognize groups of people, to where at the international level we only recognize individuals. So that will be a little different as well. So it will look very similar. I don't believe that they have the 3-year process either. I think they just have the 1-year nomination process like most awards programs. But again, you can find out more about that from Lacey Zuhowski. She can answer some questions for you about that program and make sure that you understand that entirely. But it is operated completely separately from this program. And Andrew has put the awards email address. And it is, let me just do this, awards@spe.org. So there's the email address. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And then I do want to encourage you once more to go look at the awards page on spe.org under Get Involved, and that should have a plethora of information for you. And again, don't be intimidated too intimidated to go nominate, because it really is not as difficult as it looks. It's just time consuming and does take some time to submit a good quality nomination.
Lori, we've gotten another question. I'm thinking this might be the last one. Does one require to have a certain number of years of experience to be part of the award program?
No, we do not require a certain amount of experience. So whether you're being nominated for an award, the tenure or that's not considered. We're really looking at accomplishments, what you've accomplished, how you've been involved with SPE and within the industry and service wise. So there are different things that we look at when we're looking at that involving someone in the awards program, especially as a judge, that type of thing. So when you go to apply for volunteer opportunities, no, you don't have to have a ton of experience to go do that. We just need to make sure that you do have some experience and that you have a drive to be involved. So I encourage you to fill out the applications, and then I will review those. Now, if you do apply to volunteer, I recommend that you really take time on the application, because when I'm going through those applications, I really rely on the information that you've provided to be able to determine whether or not you're qualified to judge for that particular awards category. So just be thorough when you apply. So, that is it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. This will bring us to the end of our Q&A session. And once again, thank you all to those who have asked the questions, very engaging questions. And many, many thanks to our guest speaker, Ms. Lori, for the insightful clarifications and elaboration on most of the points that you had discussed about.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you putting this together.
We are most humbled. Now we shall move on to our next item among the very, very last items for today's program. And that will be, just allow me to share my screen. Let's share my screen. Yes. So we shall be moving to our very, very last activities, and we shall begin by the presentation of a certificate, just to recognize our contributors for this theme and webinar. Allow me to invite my colleague, Lucky Emye, the section chair for SPE Wari, to take us through this very session. Lucky, if you're on the call, over to you.
Hi, Andrew. Confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks very much. Thank you for the wonderful moderation of the program. Very much importantly, would like to thank Laurie for taking out time to be part of this conversation today. I understand you have quite a busy schedule, and out of that, you still decided to, take on this presentation with us. We are really, really grateful to have you on board. This happens to be more like the 2.0 of this program. Last year, we did the same collaboration, which was featured in the SP International Award nomination portal. We're so glad that we're having this again in collaboration with the various YP section across Africa region. And we are so pleased and honored that you took on the responsibility to facilitate this session. We're really, really grateful, and we would love to present to you this certificate of appreciation in recognition for facilitating our very first professional lecture for the month of January, in collaboration with Kenya, Uganda, Angola, and Ghana section. We're truly honored to have you. Thank you very much, Laurie.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
I
you.
really appreciate that.
You're welcome. We'll have the e-copy emailed to you after now. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone. And yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I will hang that up proudly in my office. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working with you guys.
All right. Thank you, Lucky, for that session. We shall now move on to the very, very last session. That is having a photograph session. And at this point in time, I would like to request all of us who are still on the call to turn on our cameras. If you're using your phone, if you're using your laptop, please turn on your camera such that we can have a group photo that we can use for memories and reference in the future as well.
Well, I was not prepared for that, so I will do you all a favor and not get on camera.
All right. Yes, those who are in position to turn on their cameras, please. We are waiting.
See how many brave people we have here.
I don't know if you share.
Yes, I see Lucky. I see a couple of others. Yes, we are still waiting. We are still waiting on you. Dr. Riverson, if you're still with us. Alabi.
Slowly, slowly.
Laurie, yes, Laurie, we can see Laurie, not yet the camera. Okay, let me try to change and see if we have other people on the other side.
Did we lose Riverson?
Yes, I'm still looking for Dr. Riverson. I cannot see him. Well, I think that will be it for the photo session. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. The brave ladies and gents who have turned on their cameras. So we shall now move on to the closing remarks. For the closing remarks, allow me to invite my fellow leader, Yao Chapong from Ghana. He is currently the YPA chair for SP Ghana section. Yao, if you're on the call with us, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you, Laurie, as well, and everyone that's made time to be here. I'll just make it quite quick and short. On behalf of the SP Africa YP community, I extend my sincere appreciation to everyone who has made today's session impactful and enriching. From the questions to the comments, I think it's been a good one. I'd like to thank our regional director, Riverson Opong, for his insightful keynote and for consistently championing excellence, value creation, and leadership within our region and beyond. His guidance, I think, continues to shape how young professionals can position themselves for impact across the energy value chain. I would also like to appreciate Laurie Davis. I think Laurie Elizabeth Davis, yeah.
Yes.
Awards and recognition manager at SP International for really just breaking it down for us, demystifying what truly distinguishes award-winning nominations. Today's session has clearly reinforced that recognition is not accidental, but really intentional, structured, and rooted in clear, articulated impact. I would say to our moderator, thank you as well for steering the conversation as well as you did, and all participants. We know that you will leave this particular program better equipped to tell compelling stories of service, leadership, and contribution, whether in nominating a colleague or preparing your own submission. Thank you for your time, engagement, and continued commitment to SP's mission of connecting professionals, advancing knowledge, and recognizing excellence. We look forward to seeing this impact in our nominations in the season ahead. Thank you and have a good rest of the day, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Laurie.
everyone. Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and you too. Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Andrew, can you please transfer the host rights back to me? Let's see for a session here.
All right. All right. All right.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the coordination and moderation as well. Thank
It's
you.
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.